You are bleeding energy. Every time you react, you lose. Every time you explain yourself, you submit. You think power is loud? You are wrong. Power is silent. Power is still. You have spent your life fighting the water, drowning in your own emotions. Today, you stop flailing. Today, you become the rock that breaks the wave. This is not a discussion. This is a reprogramming. Welcome to the path of the calm warrior. Silence your mind. We begin now. Chapter 1. Murder the need for reaction. Look at your life. Look closely at your day. What do you see? I see a man who is being dragged through the dirt. I see a man who is not driving the car, but is tied to the bumper, bouncing over every pothole, every bump, and every sharp turn that the world throws at him. You wake up. You check your phone. A stressful email comes in. Boom, your heart rate spikes. You are angry. You are anxious. You haven't even brushed your teeth yet, and you have already lost. You get in the car. Someone cuts you off. Boom, you slam the horn. You scream. Your blood pressure rises. You arrive at work exhausted before you have done a single thing. Someone insults you. Boom, you snap back. You defend yourself. You waste an hour thinking of what you should have said. You think this is normal. You think this is just how life is. You are wrong. This is not life. This is slavery. You are a slave to everything that happens outside of your skin. You are a leaf in a hurricane, convinced that you are flying, when in reality you are just being blown away. Chapter 1 is not about adding something to your life. It is about killing something. You must murder the need for reaction. Reaction is slavery. Let's look at the mechanics of your enslavement. Imagine a puppet. It has strings attached to its arms, its legs, its head. When the strings are pulled, the puppet dances. The puppet has no choice. If the string goes up, the hand goes up. If the string goes left, the body goes left. You are that puppet. But who is the master? Who holds the strings? Everyone holds them. The idiot in traffic holds your strings. The rude waiter holds your strings. The anonymous commenter on the internet holds your strings. Your boss, your spouse, the weather, the news, they all hold a piece of string attached to your nervous system. When they pull, you dance. They insult you, you get angry. They pulled the string. They ignore you, you get insecure. They pulled the string. They praise you, you get happy. They pulled the string. Do you see the problem? If your internal state depends entirely on external events, you do not exist. You are just a reflection of the chaos around you. You have no center. You have no core. You are empty, filled only by the reactions you have to other people. This stops today. The calm warrior cuts the strings. Silence is control. To become the calm warrior, you must understand the most important concept of your life, the gap. Between the stimulus, what happens to you, and the response, what you do about it, there is a space, there is a gap. For the weak man, that gap does not exist. The stimulus hits and the reaction fires instantly. It is automatic. It is animalistic. A dog barks when it hears a noise. A weak man rages when he hears an insult. There is no thought. There is only reflex. But for the calm warrior, the gap is everything. In that gap lies your freedom. In that gap lies your dominance. When the chaos hits, when the insult lands, when the crisis breaks, you do not flinch. You step into the gap. You pause, you observe the emotion rising, and you deny it permission to take the wheel. You have a choice. That is the difference between a master and a victim. A victim has no choice, they just feel and do. A master feels, pauses, and chooses. I do not react, I respond. Write that down. Burn it into your mind. I do not react, I respond. What is the difference? Reaction is emotional. Reaction is fast. Reaction is defensive. Reaction is weak. It screams, I am hurt, I am threatened. Response is logical. Response is slow. Response is strategic. Response is lethal. When you react, you are playing the other person's game. If someone baits you into an argument and you start yelling, they have won. They controlled your state. They brought you down to their level.
But when you respond, you stay on your level. You look at them. You see their anger. You see their bait, and you step over it. You don't need their permission to stay calm. You don't need the world to be nice to you to be at peace. You bring the peace with you. You are the rock that breaks the wave. Let's talk about power, real power. Most men think power is aggression. They think it's being the loudest voice in the room. They think it's having the last word. They are fools. If you have to scream to be heard, you have no authority. If you have to explode to get respect, you have no respect. Silence is control. Think about the most powerful person you know. Do they run around screaming? Do they panic when things go wrong? No, they are terrifyingly calm. They are still. When you are silent, you force the other person to fill the void. When you do not react, you force the other person to question themselves. Imagine someone is screaming at you. They are red in the face. They are losing control. If you scream back, you are just two idiots shouting. But if you stand there, posture straight, eyes locked, breathing slow, total silence, what happens? They panic. They realize their anger is hitting a wall. Your silence reflects their own chaos back at them. You become a mirror. They look at you and see their own weakness. By refusing to react, you have dominated the interaction without speaking a word. Reaction is slavery. Silence is control. So how do we execute this? How do we murder the need for reaction? It starts with the 3-second rule. From this moment on, you are forbidden from responding to any high-stress stimulus immediately. When the bad news comes, count to 3. When the insult comes, count to 3. When the urge to check your phone comes, count to 3. In those 3 seconds, you are reclaiming your soul. You are stepping into the gap. You are looking at the urge to explode, and you are killing it. You will feel the fire in your chest. That is your ego. Your ego wants to fight. Your ego wants to prove it is right. Your ego wants to be the victim. Let it burn. It's not about your feelings. It's about your discipline. The calm warrior knows that emotions are just data. They are not commands. Just because you feel angry does not mean you must act angry. Just because you feel fear does not mean you must act afraid. You are the king of your internal kingdom. Emotions are your subjects. You listen to them, but you do not let them sit on the throne. If you let your anger sit on the throne, you are a tyrant. If you let your fear sit on the throne, you are a coward. You sit on the throne. You, the conscious, disciplined, detached observer. You have a choice. Every single time you feel that pull, that string yanking on your arm, you have a choice. Do you dance or do you cut the string? Stop explaining yourself. Stop defending yourself. Stop trying to convince people who do not matter. When you defend yourself, you are saying, your opinion of me matters. You are giving them power. When you ignore them, you are saying, you do not exist. That is the ultimate dominance, indifference. The world is noisy.
It will always be noisy. If you are waiting for the world to be quiet so you can be calm, you will be waiting until you are in the grave. You must find the silence in the center of the noise. You must be the eye of the storm. Reaction is slavery. Silence is control. I do not react, I respond. This is the foundation. Without this, you cannot build anything. If you cannot control your own mind, you cannot control your business, your body, or your destiny. You have now stopped the bleeding. You have cut the strings. You are standing still, perhaps for the first time in your life. But now that you are standing still, you are going to feel something else. You are going to feel a hunger. You are going to feel the urge to tell people about this new change. You are going to want to post about it, talk about it, and seek validation for your new discipline. That is the next trap. That is the next enemy. You have stopped reacting to the world's noise. Now you must stop making your own noise. You have mastered your fear. Now let's talk about the poison of validation.
Chapter 2. Starve your ego, feed your focus. You are addicted to a drug. It is not alcohol, it is not nicotine. It is something far more insidious, and it is destroying your potential every single day. That drug is validation. You have a disease. It is the disease of "look at me." You have a biological urge to announce your intentions before you have even lifted a finger. You decide you want to get in shape, so what is the first thing you do? You tell your friend. You post a picture of your new running shoes. You announce it to the world. And what happens? They clap. They say, "Good for you." They say, "You've got this." You feel good. You feel a rush of dopamine. You feel like you have accomplished something, but you haven't done a damn thing. You just cashed the check before you earn the money. And because you already got the reward, the praise, the validation, the feeling of importance, your brain turns off the engine. Why work for the reward when you just got it for free? This is why you fail. This is why you start and never finish. This is why your life is a graveyard of abandoned projects. You are feeding your ego and you are starving your focus. The calm warrior understands a brutal truth. Validation is poison. Every time you open your mouth to talk about what you are going to do, you are leaking power. You are letting the steam out of the boiler. You need that steam to drive the train, but you are wasting it on the whistle. Work in the dark, shine in the light. Let's look at the two types of men in this world, the talker and the doer. The talker is everywhere. He is loud. He is always grinding. He is always building something huge. His social media is a highlight reel of things he hasn't actually finished yet. He gets his high from the announcement. He is addicted to the potential of who he could be. He seeks permission. He seeks applause. He thinks that if enough people believe in him, it will somehow make the work easier. You don't need their permission. Now look at the doer. You don't know what the doer is up to. You haven't heard from him in 6 months. He isn't posting motivational quotes. He is too busy living them. He doesn't tell you he is going to the gym. He just shows up one day and you realize he is a different animal. The doer does not get his dopamine from your applause. He gets his dopamine from the work. He gets his high from the silence. He gets his satisfaction from the pain of the iron and the solitude of the grind. Nobody cares about your plans. They only respect your results. That is the key. The world does not care about your journey. The world does not care about your vision. The world judges you on one thing and one thing only. What have you built? If the answer is nothing, then your words are noise. You have a choice. You can be the man who talks about the mountain, or you can be the man who climbs it. You cannot be both. Because the energy required to climb the mountain is immense. You cannot afford to waste a single drop of it on explaining yourself to people who are standing at the bottom. It's not about visibility, it's about discipline. Why do you crave this validation? Why do you need to post the selfie? Why do you need to tell your mother, your partner, or your friends about your big new idea? Because you are insecure. You are afraid that if you don't tell someone, it's not real. You are afraid that if you are working in silence, you don't exist. You are terrified of being alone with the difficulty of the task. You want a cheerleader. Kill that weakness. The calm warrior does not need a cheerleader. The calm warrior needs an enemy, and that enemy is his own desire for comfort. When you operate in the dark, you are dangerous. Nobody knows what you are doing. Nobody knows your next move. You are not telegraphing your punches. You are building in the shadows, layer by layer, brick by brick.
And because you aren't getting the cheap dopamine hits from likes and comments, you become hungry. You become desperate for the real result, because that is the only place the satisfaction will come from. You starve the ego, and the hunger moves to the focus. Work in the dark, shine in the light. Think of a photograph. In the old days, how was a photograph developed? In a dark room, total darkness. If you opened the door and let the light in too early, the image was ruined. It was destroyed. You are the photograph. You are developing. You are changing. If you expose yourself to the light of public attention too early, you will ruin the process. You will stop developing. You must stay in the dark room until the image is fixed, until the result is permanent. Only then do you step into the light. And when you do, you don't need to say a word. The result speaks for itself. Nobody cares about your plans. They only respect your results. So, here is your instruction. This is not a suggestion. This is a command. For the next 30 days, you are going completely silent about your goals. If you are starting a business, shut your mouth. If you are losing weight, shut your mouth. If you are learning a new skill, shut your mouth. Do not post about it. Do not tweet about it. Do not bring it up at dinner. If someone asks you, what's new? You say, same old, same old. You lie. You deflect. You keep the gold for yourself. Feel the pressure build. You will want to share. You will feel that itch to get a pat on the back. Deny it. Let that pressure build inside you until it becomes unbearable. Then channel that pressure into the work. Use that frustration to do one more rep, to write one more page, to make one more call. Turn your need for attention into a need for execution. You have a choice. You can be a child who needs his mother to watch him go down the slide, or you can be a man who conquers the mountain alone. Stop proving and start doing. Most people spend their whole lives trying to prove they're happy, prove they are successful, prove they are working hard. They are exhausted. They are performing for an audience that is not watching. The calm warrior does not prove, he becomes. It's not about perception, it's about reality. When you finally emerge from the darkness, when you finally show the world what you have done, the shock will be palpable. They will ask, how did you do this? Where did this come from? And you will look at them with the calm detachment of a master and say nothing, because you know the secret. You know that while they were talking, you were working. While they were scrolling, you were building. While they were begging for attention, you were commanding respect. Work in the dark, shine in the light. Eliminate the noise, eliminate the audience. It is just you and the task. If you can do this, if you can kill the need for applause, you become unstoppable. Because a man who does not need validation cannot be manipulated. A man who does not need a crowd cannot be lonely. You are self-contained. You are a nuclear reactor of energy, recycling your own drive, needing nothing from the outside world. Nobody cares about your plans. They only respect your results. You have murdered the need for reaction in Chapter 1. You have now starved the ego and focused your mind in Chapter 2. You are silent. You are focused. You are hiding in the dark, ready to work. But being ready is not enough. Intent is nothing without action, and action without structure is just chaos. You need a code. You need a system that forces you to move when your body wants to stop. You need to understand that being hard on yourself is the only way to make life easy. You have cleared the mind. Now we must harden the will. Chapter 3.
The art of violent discipline. Most people have a soft definition of discipline. They think discipline is a habit. They think it is a life hack. They think it is using a calendar app or writing a to-do list. They treat discipline like a pet, something they can feed when they feel like it and ignore when they are tired. They are wrong. Discipline is not a pet. Discipline is an act of violence. It is a civil war waged inside your own skull. There are two versions of you. There is the higher self, the calm warrior, the man who wants to build, conquer, and dominate. And there is the lower self, the biological animal. The animal only wants three things: safety, comfort, and pleasure. The animal wants to sleep in. The animal wants the sugar. The animal wants to scroll through social media because it is easy. You cannot negotiate with the animal. You cannot reason with the animal. You must kill it. Every single day, you must wake up and commit violence against your lower desires. You must suppress the urge to be average. You must strangle the voice that whispers, "Just 5 more minutes." Feelings are irrelevant. I do what is required. I am a machine of consistency. Let's look at the battlefield. The battle begins the second you open your eyes. I call this the 04 a.m. contract. It doesn't matter if your alarm is set for 4 a.m., 5 a.m., or 6 a.m. The time is not the point. The contract is the point. The night before, you set an alarm. That was a contract you signed with yourself. You promised yourself you would rise at a specific time to execute a mission. Then the morning comes. It is dark. It is cold. Your bed is warm. Your blankets are heavy. You are tired. The alarm screams. You have a choice. This is the most critical moment of your day. This is the Battle of Thermopylae. This is D-Day. In that split second, the animal begs you. It's too early, it says. You worked hard yesterday, it says. Just hit snooze. Just 10 minutes. It won't hurt. If you hit that button, you lose. You didn't just lose 10 minutes of sleep. You lost your integrity. You looked at a contract you signed with yourself and you ripped it up because you were comfy. You started your day with a lie. You started your day with a defeat. And you think you're going to go out into the world and dominate business? You think you're going to command respect from others when you cannot even command your own hand to stay away from the snooze button? Do not make me laugh. It's not about sleep. It's about discipline. The calm warrior does not hit snooze. The calm warrior treats the alarm like a gunshot starting a race. When the alarm goes off, it is a call to war. You spring up. You do not think. You do not consult your feelings. Feelings are irrelevant. Who cares if you are tired? Who cares if you are unmotivated? Do you think a machine cares if it is tired? Does the sun ask permission to rise? No. It rises because that is what it does. It rises because that is the law. You must become a machine. I do not react. I respond. You learned that in Chapter 1. Now apply it. Your body reacts with, "I'm tired." You respond with movement. You must understand that the voice in your head, the one suggesting you take a break, is a liar. It is a saboteur. It is trying to keep you safe, small, and soft. Stop negotiating with yourself. That is the key. The negotiation is the failure. The moment you start debating whether you should go to the gym, you have already lost. The moment you start debating whether you should make the sales call, you are weak. There is no debate. The decision was made yesterday. The decision was made when you set the goal. The time for thinking is over. The time for execution is now. I do not negotiate with weakness. I am a machine of consistency. So how do we execute this violence? How do we murder the lower self? You need protocols. You need to remove the choice from the equation. Protocol 1.
The alarm distance. Put your alarm across the room. Make it impossible to turn it off from your bed. Force your body to stand up. Once you are standing, the gravity of the bed loses its hold. Protocol 2, the cold shock. Walk directly to the bathroom and splash freezing cold water on your face. Or better yet, step into a cold shower. Is it comfortable? No, it is awful. That is the point. You are shocking the animal into submission. You are signaling to your brain that you are in charge, not your comfort. Protocol 3, the uniform. Lay your clothes out the night before. Do not waste mental energy deciding what to wear. Put the gear on. When you are in the uniform of the day, you are no longer the person who wants to sleep. You are the soldier ready for the march. You don't need their permission to be hard on yourself. People will tell you to take it easy. They will tell you to be kind to yourself. They will say you're obsessed. Ignore them. They are speaking from the perspective of the average. They are speaking from the perspective of the herd. The herd wants you to be slow because your speed exposes their laziness. Being kind to yourself is actually the cruelest thing you can do. If you are kind and let yourself sleep in, you become weak. If you are kind and eat the junk food, you become sick. If you are kind and skip the work, you become poor. Real self-love is parenting yourself. Real self-love is being a strict father to your own impulses. Discipline is freedom. It sounds contradictory, but it is the absolute truth. The disciplined man is free. He is free from the tyranny of his impulses. He is free from the shame of procrastination. He is free from the regret of wasted potential. The undisciplined man is a slave to his moods. He only works when he feels like it, and because he rarely feels like it, he rarely achieves. He is trapped in a cycle of mediocrity. You have a choice. Do you want the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. Every time you do something you don't want to do, you add a coin to your mental bank account. You build equity in yourself. You walk taller. You look people in the eye with more intensity. Why? Because you know something they don't. You know that while they were sleeping, you were working. While they were negotiating, you were executing. Feelings are irrelevant. I do what is required. I am a machine of consistency. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes like the wind. You cannot build a house on the wind. You must build it on the rock of discipline. If you are waiting to feel ready, you will wait forever. Do the work when you are sad. Do the work when you are angry. Do the work when you are exhausted. Do the work when you are bored, especially when you are bored. The ability to endure boredom is the superpower of the elite. The amateur creates drama to stay interested. The master finds the glory in the repetition. The master loves the boredom because he knows that is where the growth happens. Repetition, consistency, violence against the urge to quit. This is the path. Look at your to-do list for today. Pick the hardest, most uncomfortable thing on that list, the thing you have been avoiding, the thing that makes your stomach turn. Do it immediately. Attack it with violence. Do not give yourself a second to think about it. Just go. Kill the procrastination before it breathes. It's not about the task, it's about the habit. You are reprogramming your brain. You are teaching your nervous system that when a command is issued, it is obeyed. Period. Once you establish this, you become dangerous. You become a force of nature, because a man who can control his own actions regardless of how he feels can accomplish anything. Feelings are irrelevant. I do what is required. I am a machine of consistency. You have murdered the reaction. You have starved the ego, and now you have hardened the will through violent discipline. You are up at 4 a.m. You are grinding. You are doing the work. The machine is running at full capacity. But there is a danger in working this hard. There is a danger in caring this much. The danger is that you become attached to the outcome. You start gripping the steering wheel so tight that your knuckles turn white. You start fearing failure. You start trying to force the world to bend to your will, and that anxiety begins to rot your performance from the inside out. You have learned how to fight. Now you must learn how to let go of the result of the fight. Chapter 4. Detachment is the ultimate weapon. You want it too bad. That is your problem. That is why you are failing. You are walking into the room smelling of desperation. You are gripping the steering wheel so tight your hands are shaking. You are staring at the scoreboard instead of looking at the ball. You think that caring is a virtue. You think that if you worry enough, if you stress enough, if you obsess enough about the result, the universe will reward you. You are wrong. The universe punishes desperation. It runs from it. Success is like a shadow. If you chase it, it runs away. If you turn your back on it and walk your own path, it follows you. You have mastered the violence of discipline in Chapter 3. You are doing the work. You are waking up. You are grinding. But now you are ruining that work because you are addicted to the outcome. You are checking your analytics every 5 minutes. You are checking your bank account every hour. You are texting the girl 3 times because she hasn't replied in 10 minutes. You are anxious, and anxiety is nothing more than trying to control what you cannot touch. Release the outcome. Master the process. Chapter 4 is about the hardest skill a warrior can learn. It is the skill of not caring. I do not mean apathy. I do not mean laziness. I mean strategic, cold detachment. I am indifferent to the prize. I am obsessed with the work. Let's look at the archer's mindset. Imagine an archer standing on the field. He has a bow. He has an arrow. He has a target 50 yards away. There are variables he controls, and there are variables he does not control. He controls his stance. He controls his breathing. He controls the tension in the string. He controls the release. But the moment that arrow leaves the string, he controls nothing. The wind might blow. The target might move. A bird might fly in the way. If the archer is screaming at the arrow while it is in the air, he is a fool. If he is tense and shaking because he needs to hit the bullseye to pay his rent, he will miss. His muscles will lock up. His anxiety will ruin his aim. The master archer does not care about the bullseye. The master archer cares about the form. He falls in love with the tension of the string. He falls in love with the release. Once the arrow flies, he turns his back. He knows he did everything required. The rest is irrelevant. You have a choice. You can be the amateur who prays for the arrow to land, or you can be the master who perfects the shot. Release the outcome. Master the process. You must apply this to your life immediately. When you go into a sales meeting, you must not need the sale. If you need the sale, the client will smell it on you. They will smell the fear, and they will not buy. But if you walk in there knowing your product is good, knowing your pitch is perfect, and genuinely not caring if they buy or not, you become magnetic. You become powerful because you are not asking for anything. You are offering something. You don't need their permission. You don't need their money to validate your worth. Let's take a more brutal example. Let's look at the surgeon in the ER. A trauma surgeon stands over a patient. The patient is dying. The patient has a family weeping in the waiting room. If that surgeon starts thinking about the family, he is dead. If he starts thinking, oh God, what if I fail? What if he dies? What will his children do? His hands will shake. He will hesitate. He will make a mistake. To save the life, the surgeon must be cold. He must look at the human body as a machine that needs fixing. He must detach from the humanity of the situation to execute the mechanics of the solution. He is not cruel. He is effective. It's not about cruelty. It's about competence. You must become the surgeon of your own life. When your business is failing, do not cry about it. Do not panic. Put it on the operating table. Look at the numbers. Where is the bleed? Where is the fracture? Fix it with cold surgical hands. Stop attaching your self-worth to the result. If you lose money, you are not a loser. You are a man who learned a lesson. If you get rejected, you are not unlovable. You are a man who found a door that was locked. I am indifferent to the prize. I am obsessed with the work. Why is this so hard? Because your ego wants the trophy. Your ego wants the shiny object at the end of the race. You must kill the hope. I know that sounds dark. Good. Hope is for beggars. Hope is for people who are waiting for a savior. I hope this works out. I hope they like me. Stop hoping. Start executing. When you detach from the outcome, you become fearless. What is there to fear if you do not care about the result? If you approach a woman and you do not care if she rejects you, you are confident. If you start a project and you do not care if it fails, you are bold. That's the key. The man who has nothing to lose is the most dangerous man on earth. By detaching from the outcome, you make yourself that man. You have nothing to lose because you never claimed ownership of the future. You only own the present. Release the outcome, master the process. Here is your behavioral instruction. This is how you train this. For the next week, you are going to practice the walk away. When you send an important email, close the laptop immediately. Do not check for a reply. When you finish a workout, do not look in the mirror. When you complete a project, move instantly to the next one. Do not linger. Do not look for the applause. The farmer does not dig up the seed every day to see if it is growing. He plants it, he waters it, and he moves to the next row. If he digs it up, he kills it. Stop digging up your work with your anxiety. Trust the work. If you have followed the discipline from Chapter 3, the work is good. The seeds are planted. Let time do its job. I am indifferent to the prize. I am obsessed with the work. Think about the most attractive people, the most successful people. They have an air of, I don't care. It is not that they don't care about quality. They care deeply about quality. They don't care about your opinion of the quality. They are playing a game against themselves. When you reach this state, you are immune to the roller coaster. Most men live on a roller coaster. Something good happens, they are high. Something bad happens, they are low. They are exhausted. They are vomiting emotionally every single day. The calm warrior is a flat line. High sales numbers, good. Keep working. Low sales numbers, good. Keep working. Praise, irrelevant. Hate, irrelevant. You have a choice. You can be a leaf in the wind, blowing up and down with every breeze of luck. Or you can be the mountain. The storm rages around the mountain, but the mountain does not move. Be the mountain. It's not about luck, it's about detachment. This is the ultimate freedom. When you no longer need the world to give you what you want, you can finally take what is yours. You stop begging and you start claiming. But to maintain this level of detachment, you need to protect your energy. You need to stop leaking power through your mouth. You have learned to stop reacting. You have learned to stop seeking validation. You have learned to punish the body with discipline. And now you have learned to detach from the result. You are becoming solid. You are becoming dangerous. But there is one final leak we need to plug. It is the leak of unnecessary noise. It is the weakness of the man who cannot sit in a room alone without speaking. You have mastered the internal silence. Now you must master the external silence.
Chapter 5, The Sanctuary of Silence. You talk too much. It is a hard truth, but I am not here to lie to you. I am here to save you from yourself. Analyze your last conversation. Analyze your last meeting. Analyze your last date. Who filled the dead air? Who rushed to break the silence when it stretched on for more than 3 seconds? Who laughed nervously? Who offered an explanation when none was asked for? You did. You treat silence like it is a bomb that is about to go off. You treat silence like it is an enemy. You think that if the room goes quiet, you are failing. You think that if you are not making noise, you do not exist. So you vomit words. You spill your thoughts, your insecurities, and your plans onto the floor for everyone to see. You think you are communicating. You think you are building rapport. You are wrong. You are leaking. Every unnecessary word you speak is a leak in your fuel tank. You are bleeding power. You are signaling to every predator in the room that you are uncomfortable with yourself. The calm warrior understands that silence is not empty. Silence is heavy. Silence is a weapon. Close your mouth. Open your eyes. My silence is louder than your noise. Let's look at the biology of the weak man versus the strong man. The weak man is terrified of the void. If there is silence, he hears his own anxious thoughts, and that terrifies him. So he creates noise to drown out his own mind. He babbles, he jokes, he overshares. He is dancing for the approval of the room. Now look at the predator. Look at the lion. Does the lion roar constantly? No. The lion is silent. It watches. It observes. It only makes a sound when it strikes. You have a choice. You can be the hyena, laughing and yipping and making noise to signal your submission, or you can be the lion, whose silence makes the entire savannah hold its breath. Close your mouth. Open your eyes. Let's take this to the real world. Let's go to the boardroom, or the sales negotiation, or the argument with your spouse. Picture the meeting. There is a junior executive, and there is the CEO. The junior executive is talking a mile a minute. He is pitching, he's explaining, he's using buzzwords, he's desperate to prove he belongs in the room. He's leaning forward, eyes wide, mouth moving nonstop. Now look at the CEO. He is leaning back. He is not on his phone. He is not fidgeting. He is looking the junior executive dead in the eye. He is silent. When the junior executive finishes a point, the CEO does not immediately nod. He does not immediately say, "Great job." He waits. He lets the silence hang in the air for 5 seconds. What happens in those 5 seconds? The junior executive panics. He thinks, did I say something wrong? Does he hate it? So he starts talking again. He starts negotiating against himself. He lowers the price. He backtracks. He reveals his weakness. The CEO did nothing. He simply utilized the sanctuary of silence. That's the key. The person who speaks the least holds the most power. Why? Because information is power. When you are talking, you are giving away information. When you are listening, you are gathering it. When you are silent, you become a mirror. People project their own insecurities onto you. They try to fill the silence with their own truths. If you stay quiet long enough, people will tell you everything you need to know. They will reveal their hand. You don't need their permission to be silent. Society trains you to be a good conversationalist. It trains you to be polite. It tells you that silence is awkward. Silence is only awkward if you are awkward. If you are confident, silence is not awkward. It is intimate. It is intense. It is commanding. It's not about being the weird guy in the corner who never speaks. That is social ineptitude. That is fear disguised as mystery. This is intentional silence.
It is about speaking only when your words improve upon the silence. If what you are about to say is not more valuable than the silence it breaks, keep it inside. Close your mouth. Open your eyes. My silence is louder than your noise. Here is your instruction. You are going to practice the power pause. The next time someone asks you a question, especially a difficult or aggressive one, do not answer immediately. Most people operate on a reflex. Stimulus, question, response, answer. Break the circuit. When the question comes, look them in the eye. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold the gaze. Keep your face neutral. In those 3 seconds, you establish dominance. You signal that you are not a servant who must answer instantly. You signal that you are thinking. You signal that you are in control of the tempo. Then answer concisely. You will see them shift. You will see them respect you more because you respected yourself enough to take up space in time. Reaction is slavery. You learned that in Chapter 1. Rapid-fire talking is a reaction. Silence is a response. And what about your explanations? Stop explaining yourself. I can't come to the party. That is a complete sentence. No, that is a complete sentence. I disagree. That is a complete sentence. You do not need to add, because I'm tired and I have work tomorrow and my dog is sick. When you explain, you submit. You are asking the other person to accept your excuse. You are asking for validation. The calm warrior states his position and stands in the silence that follows. He does not rush to soften the blow. Close your mouth, open your eyes. This practice saves you energy. Think about how exhausted you are after a day of performing, a day of being on, a day of small talk, fake laughs, and explaining yourself. You are exhausted because you have given away all your life force. When you practice the sanctuary of silence, you conserve that energy. You bottle it up. You keep it for yourself. You walk through the world like a tank, sealed tight. Nothing gets in, nothing leaks out. You are pressurized, and people feel it. Have you ever stood next to a man who says very little, but you can feel the radiation of his presence? He feels dangerous. He feels competent. That is the feeling of conserved energy. He isn't wasting his power on the air. He is saving it for the action. You have a choice. You can be a fountain, spraying water everywhere, making a mess, eventually running dry. Or you can be a dam, holding back the weight of the water, building massive potential energy, ready to release it only when it turns the turbine. Be the dam. Stop trying to convince people of your value. If you have to tell people you are smart, you are not. If you have to tell people you are tough, you are weak. If you have to tell people you are successful, you are poor. Let your results speak. They have a louder voice than you ever will. Close your mouth, open your eyes. My silence is louder than your noise. This week, I want you to audit your words. Before you speak, ask yourself, is this necessary? If the answer is no, kill it, swallow the words. You will feel a pressure in your chest. That is the urge to please. That is the urge to fit in. Let it burn. Sit in the meeting and say nothing until the very end. Sit at the dinner table and listen. Sit in the car with your partner and just be. Watch how the world changes around you. Watch how people start leaning in towards you, trying to figure you out. You have become a mystery. You have become a challenge. You have become the calm warrior. It's not about silence, it's about power. You have stopped the leak. You are now a sealed vessel. But now we have a new situation. You have stopped reacting. You have stopped seeking validation. You are disciplined. You are detached. And now you are silent. You are building up a massive amount of internal energy. You are feeling things, anger, frustration, sadness, ambition, and you aren't talking about them. You aren't venting them. So where does that energy go? If you just bottle it up, you will explode. You will crack. You need an engine. You need a way to take that raw, heavy, dark, emotional energy and turn it into forward motion. You need to stop looking for happiness and start learning how to burn unhappiness as fuel. You are sitting on a pile of coal. It's time to light the furnace.
Chapter 6. Emotional Alchemy. Transmuting Rage. Stop trying to be happy. You have been sold a lie. You have been told that the goal of life is to be smiling, content, and peaceful 24 hours a day. You have been told that negative emotions are bad. You have been told that if you are angry, you are toxic. If you are sad, you are broken. If you are jealous, you are insecure. So what do? You try to fix it. You try to drug it. You try to meditate it away. You try to suppress the darkness because you are afraid of it. You are wasting the most potent resource you possess. You are sitting on a gold mine of energy, and you are trying to bury it. The calm warrior knows the truth. The calm warrior is an alchemist. He does not fear the darkness. He uses it. He takes the lead of his rage and turns it into the gold of his empire. Pain is fuel. Rejection is fuel. I burn everything that tries to burn me. Let's look at the physics of your soul. Emotion is simply energy in motion. That is all it is. It is a biological charge running through your nervous system. Anger is high-voltage electricity. Grief is a heavy, crushing hydraulic pressure. Spite is a nuclear isotope that burns for years.
The weak man lets this energy destroy him. He gets angry, so he punches a wall or screams at his wife. He leaks the energy. He wastes it on destruction. The weak man gets sad, so he collapses. He lays in bed. He eats garbage. He lets the energy drown him. You have a choice. You can be the victim of your emotions, or you can be the engineer of them. Imagine a steam engine, a massive iron locomotive. How does it move? It moves by burning things. It has a furnace in its belly. The hotter the fire, the faster the train moves. Your ambition is the engine. Your discipline is the tracks. But your emotions are the coal. When the world dumps a load of suffering on your doorstep, do not complain. Do not ask, why me? Do not go to therapy to cry about how unfair it is. Pick up the shovel, open the furnace door, and throw it in. Pain is fuel. Did you get fired? Good. That is high-grade coal. Shovel it into the furnace. Use that rage to apply for 50 jobs a day. Use that fear of poverty to sharpen your skills until you are undeniable. Did she leave you? Good. That is the hottest burning fuel on the planet. Heartbreak has built more muscles and more fortunes than happiness ever has. Take that crushing chest pain and bring it to the squat rack. Take that sleepless night and turn it into a business plan. It's not about healing, it's about harnessing. You see, happiness is comfortable. Happiness is nice, but happiness does not build empires. Happiness makes you want to sit on the porch and drink iced tea. Rage makes you want to conquer. Insecurity makes you want to prove them wrong. Fear makes you hypervigilant. That's the key. Stop trying to get rid of your demons. Hitch them to your chariot. Make them pull you toward your goals. There is a concept I call spite-driven success. It is powerful, but it is dangerous if you are disciplined. If you just act out of spite, you are reacting, Chapter 1. But if you filter that spite through the cold machinery of your discipline, Chapter 3, you get something miraculous. You get cold rage. Cold rage is the state where you are absolutely furious, but you are absolutely still. You are not screaming, you are working. You are staring at the spreadsheet and you are fueled by the memory of the teacher who said you were stupid. You are running the last mile and you are fueled by the person who laughed at your dream. You don't need their permission to be angry. You need their doubt to power your belief. I burn everything that tries to burn me.
This is emotional alchemy. It is the art of taking something bad and transmuting it into something good. The world throws a brick at your head. The victim says, I am hurt. The warrior says, thank you for the building material. Look at the greatest men in history. Look at the athletes, the generals, the tycoons. Were they happy-go-lucky people? No. They were often tortured souls. They were driven by a deep, dark need to prove something. They had a chip on their shoulder the size of an iceberg. They didn't try to remove the chip. They used it as a battery. You have a choice. When the wave of negativity hits you, what will you do? Most of you are wasting your suffering. You are suffering for free. You are miserable, and you have nothing to show for it. That is the ultimate tragedy. If you were going to go through hell, you might as well come out the other side carrying a trophy. Pain is fuel. So how do we execute this? Step 1. The capture. When something bad happens, catch the emotion. Do not let it leak out in a text message. Do not let it leak out in a rant to your friend. Do not drink alcohol to numb it. Feel it. Feel the heat of it. Recognize it as raw power. Step 2. The assignment. Give that emotion a job. You are angry? Okay, anger, your job is to finish this project tonight. You are sad? Okay, sadness, your job is to write the most honest chapter of your book. You are anxious? Okay, anxiety, your job is to double-check every detail of the plan so we cannot fail. Step 3. The burn. Work until the feeling is gone. Use the energy until the tank is empty. You will find that after 3 hours of intense, rage-fueled work, you are no longer angry. You are exhausted, but you are peaceful. You have burned the coal, the pressure is gone, and you have a result to show for it. This is the only healthy way to process negativity. You incinerate it in the furnace of achievement. Rejection is fuel. Someone told you no. Someone told you you aren't good enough. Do you believe them, or do you use them? Every no is a log on the fire. Every closed door is a reason to build a battering ram. I want you to become a monster of resilience. I want you to get to a point where when bad things happen, you almost smile. You smile a cold, terrifying smile because you know you just got a refill on your gas tank. Oh, you want to fire me? Watch what I become. Oh, the market crashed? Watch how I pivot. Oh, I got injured? Watch how I master my mind while my body heals. I burn everything that tries to burn me. Stop being afraid of your shadow. Your shadow is where your power lives. The nice guy has no shadow. The nice guy is harmless. The nice guy finishes last because he has no engine. You are not a nice guy. You are a calm warrior. You are capable of great violence, but you choose peace. You are capable of great rage, but you choose focus. It's not about being positive. It's about being productive. Toxic positivity is a weakness. Walking around saying it's all good when your life is on fire is delusional. It's not all good. It's hard. It's painful. It's dark. Admit it. Acknowledge the darkness, then use it. The lights in your house run on electricity. That electricity might be generated by burning filthy coal or by a violent nuclear reaction, but the light is pure. Your success is the light. Your rage is the nuclear reaction. Let the reaction happen in the containment chamber of your discipline. Do not let it melt the reactor. Contain it. Direct it. Use it. Pain is fuel. Rejection is fuel. I burn everything that tries to burn me. You are now a machine that cannot be stopped. If the world gives you good things, you work. If the world gives you bad things, you work harder. You have become anti-fragile. The more you are attacked, the stronger you get. The more they try to bury you, the more they realize you are a seed. You have mastered the external world. You have mastered the response. You have mastered the silence. You have mastered the alchemy of emotion. But there is one enemy left, the most persistent enemy of all. It is the voice in your head that sounds exactly like you. It is the voice that whispers reasonable excuses. It is the voice that tells you that you have done enough, that you deserve a break, that 80% is good enough. You have learned to fight the world. Now you must learn to silence the traitor within.
Chapter 7. Stop negotiating with yourself. There is a traitor living in your house. He eats your food. He sleeps in your bed. He speaks with your voice. But he is not you. He is the negotiator. He is the voice that whispers to you when things get hard. He's the voice that says, you've done enough. He's the voice that says, it's okay to skip just this once. He's the voice that says, start tomorrow. He sounds reasonable. That is why he is dangerous. He doesn't sound like an enemy. He sounds like a friend who's looking out for your well-being. He sounds logical. But he is a liar. Every time you set a goal, the negotiator wakes up. You decide to run 5 miles. At mile 3, your legs start to burn. The negotiator steps in. Hey, he whispers, 3 miles is pretty good. Most people are on the couch. You worked hard today. Let's just walk the rest of the way. And what do? You listen. You nod. You slow down. You agree to the terms. You just lost. You think you made a logical decision. You didn't. You surrendered. You let a weak impulse talk you out of a strong commitment. The negotiation is over. The decision is made. I do not debate with my weakness. You must understand the biology of this betrayal. Scientists call it the governor. Your brain is designed for one thing: survival. It is not designed for greatness. It is not designed for success. It is designed to keep you alive and to conserve energy. When you push yourself, whether it's in the gym, in business, or in a confrontation, your brain panics. It thinks you are burning too much fuel. It thinks you are in danger. So it triggers a safety switch. It floods your mind with excuses and pain signals to make you stop. Research shows that when your brain tells you, "I am done," you are actually only at about 40% of your true capacity. The other 60%? That is hidden behind the wall of the negotiation. To access that 60%, you must stop listening to the safety warnings. You must override the system. You have a choice. You can listen to the biological safety switch and stay average, or you can crush the switch and become elite. It's not about ability, it's about refusal. Refusal to debate, refusal to compromise, refusal to settle. Let's look at the marathon runner. Mile 20, the wall. At mile 20, the runner's glycogen stores are depleted. The body is screaming. Every nerve ending is sending a red alert to the brain. Stop, stop now. The amateur listens. He slows down. He walks. He negotiates. If I walk for a minute, I can run again later. The elite athlete hears the same voice. He feels the same pain, but he treats his own brain as an enemy combatant. He hears the voice say stop, and he recognizes it as a lie. He knows it is just a chemical signal trying to save calories. He does not argue with it. He does not rationalize with it. He simply ignores it. He realizes that the pain is not a stop sign. It is just a sensation. It is just information. The negotiation is over. The decision is made. Think about your daily life. How many times a day do you open a negotiation with yourself? The alarm goes off. Proposal, 5 more minutes. Counteroffer, just 5. Then I focus. Result, you overslept. You sit down to work. Proposal, let's check social media for a second. Counteroffer, just 5 minutes. Then I focus. Result, you wasted an hour. You are a lawyer for your own mediocrity. You are constantly building a case for why you shouldn't have to work hard, and the judge, your will, is letting you win. That's the key. You must fire the lawyer. You must dissolve the court. There is no trial. There is no debate. There is only the decree. When you set a plan, I will wake up at 5. I will make 50 calls. I will not eat sugar. That plan is a binding law. It is written in stone. When the moment of execution comes and the negotiator tries to open his mouth, you silence him with the mantra, I do not debate with my weakness. If you debate, you lose. Why? Because your weakness is smart. Your weakness knows your insecurities. Your weakness knows exactly what to say to make you crumble. It knows you are tired. It knows you are stressed. It uses those facts against you. If you engage in the conversation, you will talk yourself out of greatness. So do not engage. Treat the decision as something that happened in the past. Should I go to the gym? That is the wrong question. The question was answered yesterday when you wrote your schedule. The decision is already made. You are just the laborer who has to execute it. You don't need their permission, and you certainly don't need your own permission. You must bifurcate yourself. There is the general and there is the soldier. The general makes the plan the night before. The general is smart, strategic, and ambitious. The soldier wakes up in the morning. The soldier is tired, hungry, and dumb. The soldier is not allowed to question the general. The soldier's only job is to execute the orders. If the soldier starts asking, "But why do we have to march today? It's raining," the army falls apart. You are letting the soldier run your life. Put the general back in charge. The negotiation is over. Here is the behavioral instruction. It is called the binary code. Computers operate on ones and zeros, on or off, true or false. There is no maybe. There is no kinda. You must treat your commitments as binary code. Did you do it? 1. Did you not do it? 0. I almost did it is a 0. I tried really hard is a 0. I did half of it because I had a headache is a 0. Stop accepting the gray area. The gray area is where the negotiation happens. The gray area is where dreams go to die. Living in the binary makes life simple. It is hard, but it is simple. Did I hit the number? Yes or no. Did I eat the meal plan? Yes or no. When you remove the nuance, you remove the excuses. You strip the negotiator of his power. He can't argue with a 1 or a 0. It's not about flexibility, it's about fidelity. Fidelity to your word. If you cannot trust yourself to keep a promise you made to yourself, how can you expect anyone else to trust you? If you constantly break contracts with yourself, your self-esteem will rot. You feel like an imposter because you are an imposter. You are pretending to be a man of your word, but in the privacy of your own mind, you are a liar. Fix this. The next time you feel the resistance, the urge to quit, the urge to slow down, the urge to delay, recognize it immediately. Label it. This is the negotiation. Then crush it. Say it out loud if you have to. The negotiation is over. Push the throttle forward. Do not wait for the feeling to pass. Act through the feeling. Drive the car through the guardrail. When you override the governor, you unlock a new level of power. You realize that you were never tired, you were just bored. You realized you were never at your limit, you were just at your comfort zone. You find the second wind and the third wind. The calm warrior runs on engines that the average man doesn't even know exist, but you only find those engines when you burn through the first layer of resistance. The negotiation is over. The decision is made. I do not debate with my weakness. You have murdered the reaction. You have silenced the tongue. You have burned the emotional fuel. And now you have fired the internal lawyer. Your mind is becoming a fortress. It is sealed. It is disciplined. It is quiet. But look around you. Look at your desk. Look at your car. Look at your home. Is your environment as disciplined as your mind? Or are you trying to build a cathedral of focus in the middle of a garbage dump? You cannot have a clear mind in a chaotic space. Your internal order is constantly under siege by your external disorder. It is time to project this discipline outwards. It is time to conquer your physical reality.
Chapter 8. Order the external, command the internal. Look around you right now. Lift your eyes from whatever device you are using and look at your immediate environment. Look at your desk. Look at your floor. Look at the back seat of your car. What do you see? Do you see precision? Do you see alignment? Do you see a space that has been conquered by a disciplined mind? Or do you see piles of paper? Do you see laundry on the floor? Do you see half-finished projects, coffee cups, and dust? If you see chaos, I have bad news for you. Your discipline is a lie. You can wake up at 4 a.m., you can go to the gym, you can practice silence, but if you come home to a pigsty, you are a fraud. You are building a skyscraper on a swamp. The calm warrior understands a fundamental law of the universe. The external is a reflection of the internal, and the internal is shaped by the external. It is a feedback loop. If your mind is chaotic, your room will be messy. But more importantly, if your room is messy, it will keep your mind chaotic. Chaos around me creates chaos within me. I bring order to everything I touch. You cannot think clearly in a room full of noise, and clutter is noise. It is visual noise. Every item out of place is a signal to your brain. It is a tiny voice screaming, "Fix me, move me, clean me." You might think you can ignore it. You might think it doesn't bother me. You are wrong. Your subconscious mind sees everything. It is scanning your environment for threats and tasks 24 hours a day.
When it sees a pile of unpaid bills or a messy closet, it creates a background hum of anxiety. It uses up your processing power. You are trying to focus on your mission, but 20% of your RAM is being used to track the garbage you haven't thrown away. You have a choice. You can live in a physical manifestation of procrastination, or you can live in a temple of focus. Chaos around me creates chaos within me. I bring order to everything I touch. Let's talk about the military bed. Why do you think the first thing a soldier learns in basic training is how to make a bed? Why do elite special forces, men trained to kill, spend hours obsessing over hospital corners and the perfect alignment of a pillow? Do you think it is because the enemy cares if their sheets are wrinkled? Of course not. It is because of dominance. When you make your bed to perfection, you are proving something to yourself. You are proving that you govern this square footage of the earth. You are proving that entropy, the natural tendency of the universe to fall into disorder, has no power here. In this room, you are God. In this room, there is only order. If you cannot even command a pillow to stay in place, how do you expect to command a team? If you cannot keep your car clean, how do you expect to keep a business running? It's not about cleaning, it's about conquest. Stop thinking of it as chores. Chores are for children. This is environmental warfare. Every time you organize a drawer, you are winning a battle against chaos. Every time you wipe down a surface, you are clearing the fog from your mind. That's the key. When you sit down to work in a pristine, minimalist space, your mind has nowhere else to go but into the work. There are no distractions. There are no visual excuses. There is just you and the mission. But when you sit down in a mess, your mind seeks escape. It looks at the mess and feels overwhelmed. And what does a confused mind do? It does nothing. It procrastinates. You are sabotaging your own success because you are too lazy to put your laundry away. Chaos around me creates chaos within me. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about digital clutter. Look at your computer desktop. Is it covered in 50 random files? Look at your phone. Do you have 4,000 unread emails? Do you have 50 tabs open in your browser? That is weakness. That is hoarding. You are afraid to make a decision, so you just save it for later. You leave the tab open because you might need it. You keep the email because you might read it. You are drowning in might. The calm warrior deletes. The calm warrior archives. The calm warrior clears the history. You don't need their permission to delete the old versions of yourself. Here is the behavioral instruction. It is called the zero-state reset. This is a non-negotiable protocol. Every time you leave a physical space, you must return it to zero state.
If you cook dinner, the kitchen must be spotless before you go to bed, not soaking in the sink, spotless. If you finish working at your desk, the papers are filed, the pens are in the cup, and the surface is wiped down before you stand up. You never, ever borrow time from tomorrow to pay for the laziness of today. When you walk into your office the next morning, it should look like nobody has ever been there. It should look like a fresh start. It should invite you to work. If you walk in and see the mess from yesterday, you are starting your day in the past. You are starting your day cleaning up yesterday's failure. I bring order to everything I touch. Think about the psychological impact of this phrase, I bring order. It means you are an active force. You do not just exist in the world, you organize the world. When you walk into a chaotic meeting, you bring structure. When you walk into a failing business, you bring systems. When you walk into a messy room, you straighten it. You are the antidote to entropy. People will notice this. They might not say anything, but they will feel it. They will see that your car is always clean. They will see that your clothes are always pressed. They will see that your desk is always clear. And they will trust you. Why? Because a man who attends to the small details can be trusted with the big details. If I see a man with a dirty car and stains on his shirt, I know his mind is sloppy. I know he misses things. I know he cuts corners. I will not do business with him. But the man whose environment is sharp, his mind is sharp. It's not about perfectionism. It's about standards. You must raise your standards. You have accepted living in filth, physical or digital, for too long. You have become nose-blind to your own mediocrity. Open your eyes. Look at the pile of clothes in the corner. That is not just clothes. That is a monument to your laziness. Burn it down. Put it away. You have a choice. Do you want to be a king in a palace or a rat in a nest? A king commands his environment. A rat hides in it. Start small. Start with your wallet. Take it out. Is it full of old receipts? Is it disorganized? Fix it right now. Arrange the bills. Throw away the trash. Feel that? That tiny spark of satisfaction? That is the feeling of control. Now expand that feeling. Do your car. Do your desk. Do your closet. Ruthlessly throw away things you do not need. Minimalism is power. The less junk you have, the less energy you spend maintaining it. Chaos around me creates chaos within me. I bring order to everything I touch. This is the foundation of the calm warrior's lifestyle. You are building a sanctuary. When the world is screaming, when the market is crashing, when people are panicking, you come home to a place of absolute order. You step into your sanctuary and your heart rate drops. Your mind clears. You are safe. You are in control. You cannot fight the war out there if you are fighting a war against your own clutter in here. Make your bed. Clean your desk. Delete the emails. Create a vacuum and watch how success rushes in to fill it. I bring order to everything I touch. You have now structured your mind. You have structured your emotions. You have structured your physical space. You are building a fortress of discipline. The walls are high. The interior is pristine. But a fortress is not just about what you keep in. It is about what you keep out. You can have the cleanest room and the sharpest mind, but if you let the wrong people walk in and dump their garbage on your floor, you have failed. You are letting energy vampires steal the resources you have worked so hard to accumulate. You have learned to say yes to discipline. Now you must learn the most powerful word in the human language. You must learn to ruthlessly deny access to anything that does not serve the mission. Chapter 9. The Power of No. You are too nice. You have been raised to be polite. You have been raised to be accommodating. You have been trained like a dog to sit, stay, and roll over whenever someone asks for your attention. Can you help me move this weekend? Yes. Can I pick your brain for an hour? Yes. Do you want to go to this dinner party with people we hate? Yes. You say yes because you want to be liked. You say yes because you are afraid of conflict. You say yes because you think you have infinite time. You are a liar. You do not have infinite time. You are bleeding out. Every time you say yes to something that does not serve your mission, you are robbing your future self. You are taking a knife and cutting a piece of your ambition away to feed someone else's boredom. Yes is the word of the slave. It is the word of the pleaser. It is the word of the man who has no direction, so he lets everyone else steer his ship. No is the word of the master. No is a wall. No is a shield. No is the sword that cuts the strings of obligation. If it does not make me stronger, the answer is no. I protect my time with my life. You must understand the economics of your existence. Your energy is a currency. It is limited. You wake up with a full bank account of energy every morning. If you spend that currency on other people's drama, other people's projects, and other people's expectations, you will be bankrupt by noon. And when it comes time to build your own empire, you will have nothing left but lint in your pockets. You have a choice. You can be popular or you can be powerful. You rarely get to be both.
The powerful man is not afraid to disappoint you. He is not afraid to hurt your feelings if it means protecting his focus. He knows that his time is more valuable than your opinion. Let's talk about the vampire friend. We all have one. The person who calls you just to complain. The person who is always in a crisis. The person who wants to meet for coffee to catch up, but really just wants to dump their emotional garbage onto your lap. You answer the phone, you listen, you nod, you offer advice they will never take. You hang up the phone 45 minutes later and you feel exhausted. You feel heavy. You feel drained. They just fed on you. They are a parasite, and you are the host. Why do you tolerate this? Because you think you're being a good friend? No, you are being a doormat. Cutting them off is not cruelty, it is self-preservation. If you were a professional athlete preparing for the Olympics, would you let a friend come over and hit your legs with a baseball bat? No, you would protect your body at all costs. You are a calm warrior. Your mind is your instrument. Why are you letting people hit it with a bat? If it does not make me stronger, the answer is no. You must perform a ruthless audit of your social circle. Who are the builders? Who are the drainers? If they are draining you, they have to go. But we've been friends for 10 years, you say. I don't care. History is not a reason to tolerate toxicity. If the milk in your fridge is 10 years old, you don't drink it, you throw it out. You don't need their permission to outgrow them. This applies to family too. This applies to colleagues. This applies to society. You will be called selfish. You will be called arrogant. You will be called cold. Good. Let them call you names while you surpass them. It's not about cruelty. It's about focus. The no must be absolute. It cannot be a negotiation. Remember chapter 7. Most people say no like a question. I don't think I can make it. Maybe next time. That is weak. That leaves the door open. That invites them to push back. Oh, come on, just for an hour. And because you are weak, you cave. The calm warrior says no like a slamming door. No, I can't do that. No, that doesn't work for me. No.
Do not apologize. Do not explain. Do not make up a lie about your dog being sick. That's the key. When you explain, you are submitting. When you lie, you are degrading yourself. Just say no. Sit in the silence. Let the other person deal with their own disappointment. That is not your burden to carry. I protect my time with my life. Think about the phrase, I protect my time with my life, because your time is your life. It is the stuff life is made of. If someone stole $10 from your wallet, you would be furious. You would fight them. But you let people steal hours of your time, which you can never earn back, and you say, thank you. Stop it. Here is the behavioral instruction. It is called the default no. For the next 7 days, your default answer to every new request is no. If your boss asks for something outside your job description, no, I need to focus on my core tasks. If a friend asks for a favor, no, I am fully booked this week. If a family member tries to guilt you into an event, no, I won't be there. Feel the terror in your chest when you say it. That terror is the death of your nice guy persona. Let him die. He was holding you back anyway. Watch what happens. At first, people will be shocked. They are used to you being soft. But then something shifts. They start to respect you. Scarcity creates value. If you are always available, you are cheap. If you are always there, you are common. But if your time is hard to get, if your yes is rare, then your yes becomes gold. When you finally do say yes to someone, they value it, they listen, they treat you like a prize, not an option. You have a choice. Do you want to be the person everyone likes because you do what they want? Or do you want to be the person everyone respects because you do what you want?
It's not about popularity, it's about power. The art of the no extends to your habits too. Say no to the phone. Say no to the junk food. Say no to the gossip. Every time you say no to a lower desire, you say yes to a higher purpose. Imagine your life as a statue trapped inside a block of stone. You are the sculptor. The chisel is the word no. You chip away the distractions, you chip away the fake friends, you chip away the bad habits, you chip away the obligations. Chip, chip, chip. No, no, no. What is left? Only the essential, only the masterpiece, only the calm warrior. If it does not make me stronger, the answer is no. You must become unreachably focused. You must become a ghost to the people who waste time. Where have you been, they will ask. Working, you will answer, and that is all they need to know. You are building a fortress. Chapter 8 was about the physical walls. Chapter 9 is about the guards at the gate. Do not let the Trojan horse in just because it looks like a gift. Do not let the enemy in just because he smiles. Guard the gate. I protect my time with my life. Because here is the truth, the brutal, terrifying truth that you try to ignore every single day. You do not have time. You think you have 40 years. You think you have decades to figure this out. You think you can waste today and make it up tomorrow. You are wrong. The clock is not just ticking, it is melting. The sand in the hourglass is running out faster than you can comprehend. You are fighting for your freedom, but you are fighting against a deadline that cannot be moved, cannot be negotiated, and cannot be bribed. You have learned to say no. Now I am going to tell you the one thing you must never say no to. I am going to show you the ultimate reason why this urgency matters. We are going to look death in the face, and we are going to smile.
Stop lingering in the doorway of life. Walk through the door or close it. When you procrastinate, you are spitting in the face of the gods of chance. You are saying, I am so special that I can afford to waste this miraculous gift of time. You are not special. You are perishable. You have a choice. You can live a long, safe, boring life where you arrive at the grave safely with a perfectly preserved, unused body and mind. Or you can slide into the grave sideways, covered in scars, totally worn out, shouting, "What a ride!" Use yourself up. Do not save your energy for the next life. Burn it all here. It's not about longevity, it's about intensity. A candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Be the bright candle. Who wants to be a dim bulb that lasts forever in a dark closet? I am dying. My time is melting. This perspective changes how you make decisions. When you are faced with a choice, fear versus action, ask yourself, on my deathbed, will I regret doing this, or will I regret not doing this? You will never regret trying and failing. You will always regret not trying. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. We said this in Chapter 3. Now you see why. Because the regret accumulates until the end, and then it crushes you when it is too late to fix it. The negotiation is over. You are no longer allowed to be timid. Timidity is a luxury for the immortals. You are mortal. You must be bold. If you like the girl, tell her. If you want the business, start it. If you want to leave the city, move. What is the worst that can happen? You fail? You get embarrassed? So what? You are going to die anyway. Your embarrassment will rot with your bones. Release the outcome. Chapter 4. Silence the noise. Chapter 5. Take the action. I must act now. This is the ultimate freedom, the freedom of the man who has nothing to lose because he knows he has already lost the ultimate gamble. We all lose in the end. The house always wins. So play big. Don't hoard your chips. Push them all into the center of the table. Live with a sense of desperate, beautiful urgency. Love your family harder because they will die too. Work harder because your capacity will fade. Look at the sun today. Really look at it. It might be the last time you see it. Does that sound dramatic? It happens to thousands of people every day. They woke up, planned their day, and never saw the sunset. Do not be the fool who thinks he is exempt. I am dying. My time is melting. I must act now. We have reached the end of the teaching. We have stripped you down. We have murdered your reaction. We have starved your ego. We have disciplined your body. We have silenced your tongue. We have ordered your environment. We have hardened your no. And now we have faced your death. You are awake. You are no longer the sleepwalker who started this book. You are something else. You are sharp. You are dangerous. You are calm. But knowledge is not enough. You have listened to my voice for the last hour. You have nodded your head. You have felt the fire. But the fire will go out if you do not add wood. The audio is ending. The silence is coming. The real world is waiting for you outside your headphones. The enemy is waiting for you. The comfort is waiting for you. The snooze button is waiting for you. You have the map, but you have to move your feet. Do not let this be just another book you listen to. Do not let this be another motivation spike that fades by Tuesday. This is a lifestyle. This is a war. It is time to close the book and open the arena. Chapter 10. Memento mori. Urgency through death. This is the end, not just of this book, but of you. Take a moment. Put your hand on your chest. Feel that? That rhythmic thumping? That is a countdown timer. Every beat is one less beat you have left. You are not a machine that runs forever. You are a biological organism that is decaying from the moment you were born. You are going to die. I know you know this intellectually, but you do not know it emotionally. You do not feel it. Because if you truly felt it, if you truly understood that the void is coming for you, you would not have wasted a single second of today. You would not have scrolled. You would not have argued. You would not have hesitated. You live as if you have a contract with eternity. You say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start next year. I'll wait until I'm ready. You are arrogant. You assume tomorrow is guaranteed. It is not. Chapter 10 is the anchor of the calm warrior. It is the concept of memento mori. Remember, you must die. This is not about being depressed. It is not about being morbid. It is about waking up from the coma of comfort. I am dying. My time is melting. I must act now. Why does the calm warrior meditate on death? Because it provides the two things you need most: total detachment and total urgency. This is the paradox. First, death gives you calm. When you realize you are going to be dust in 100 years, the little problems vanish. Someone cut you off in traffic. Who cares? You're both dying. Someone left a mean comment. Who cares? They will be forgotten, and so will you. You lost some money. It doesn't matter. You can't take it with you. Death strips away the ego. It strips away the vanity. It reveals that 99% of the things you worry about are absolutely irrelevant in the face of eternity. That's the key. When you accept death, you become weightless. You stop carrying the heavy luggage of what will people think. People will think nothing. They will be dead too. You don't need their permission because their permission expires when their heart stops. But second, death gives you the warrior spirit. Because this is it. This is the only run you get. There is no respawn. There is no new game plus. If you are going to build something, you must build it now.
If you are going to become strong, you must do it now. If you are going to leave a mark, you must strike the hammer now. I am dying. My time is melting. I must act now. Let's play a game. It is a dark game, but necessary. I want you to visualize your own funeral. Close your eyes. See the room. It is quiet. There's a wooden box at the front. Inside that box is your cold gray body. The work is done. The game is over. Who is in the room? Are there hundreds of people there mourning the loss of a titan? Or are there 3 people there, checking their watches, wondering when they can leave? What are they saying about you? Are they saying, he changed the world, he was a force of nature, he gave everything he had? Or are they saying, he had so much potential, it's a shame he never really did anything with it? He had potential. That is the worst epitaph a man can have. Potential means you didn't do it. Potential means you were scared. Potential means you took your gifts to the grave with you. Open your eyes. Does that terrify you? It should. Use that terror. It's not about fear, it's about fuel. Most people run from the thought of death. They distract themselves with entertainment so they don't have to hear the clock ticking. The calm warrior runs toward the clock. He looks at it. He respects it. He realizes that death is the only deadline that counts. You have a project you've been putting off? Imagine you have 1 year left to live. Would you still put it off? No. You would work like a maniac. You would cut out the nonsense. You would focus. So why are you waiting? Because you think you have 40 years? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. But even if you have 40 years, that is only 480 months. That is only 2,000 weeks. That is not a lot of time. I am dying. My time is melting. I must act now. You must develop a sense of aggressive urgency. Walk faster, talk clearer, decide sooner.
You have listened. You have nodded. You have agreed. But listening is not doing. Knowledge without action is just another form of procrastination. The book is ending, but your war is just beginning. Do not tell anyone what you learned here. Show them. When the chaos comes, and it will come, you will be the eye of the storm. When the pain comes, you will greet it as a friend. When the urge to quit rises, you will crush it without mercy. You are no longer a leaf in the wind. You are the sword in the stone. Cold, sharp, unmovable. Go out there and dominate your reality. Do not speak. Do not hesitate. Get to work.